Texas Food Bank Network, also known as TFBN or the Network, provides a unified voice among Texas food banks in support of our common mission to end hunger in Texas. TFBN was established in 1986 as the Texas Association of Second Harvest Food Banks as a vehicle for advocacy and sharing information relating to hunger issues in Texas. It was also a resource for food, funds, and training for member organizations. The network consists of 19 Texas food banks who are members of Feeding America, and we serve all 254 Texas counties. The network's current priorities include strengthening state and federal relationships in order to seek funding opportunities with others whose core focus is on ending hunger in Texas. Also, network development to strengthen transparency and communication, and enhance coordination and training efforts within the network. And finally, resource development of funding and food sources. TFBN seeks funding and contacts to further its mission. Funding may include grants or corporate dollars to provide assistance for the purchase of food or transportation. Contacts with growers, grocers, and other food sources prove invaluable to providing healthy meal options to people in need in Texas. The members of the network provide food and a range of services to hunger relief agencies in all 254 counties. With over 3,200 local soup kitchens and food pantries across the state, nearly two-thirds of them are faith-based organizations. Food bank members distributed nearly 300 million pounds of food in 2010. An average meal weighs about 1.3 pounds. So that means network agencies provided enough food for over 230 million meals. Through our programs, TFBN and its members are able to provide meals to those in need. These programs include the Texans Feeding Texans program in partnership with the Texas Department of Agriculture, and the Community-Based Outreach and Application Assistance Program in partnership with the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. The network has developed deep relationships with important state and federal entities in the fight against hunger. These relationships help us leverage greater resources for our 19 members while increasing the impact of public food assistance programs for children, seniors, and working families. By developing statewide policy, outreach and advocacy strategies for all the programs and resources that touch hungry Texans, we're able to effectively surround the problem of hunger with a coordinated attack. Each of our food banks has the trust and support of their local community, effectively giving us the ability to engage the whole state simultaneously in funded strategies. TFBN staff is widely recognized as go-to experts in the fight against hunger, making us a respected voice in local, state, and national conversations. TFBN has relationships with the national organizations Feeding America and the Food Research and Action Center, or FRAC. These relationships inform and enrich TFBN's statewide strategies and give us a seat at the table to influence national anti-hunger strategy. In several cases, TFBN and our food banks have pioneered local strategies that have become national models. In partnership with the Texas Department of Agriculture, TFBN distributes healthy produce through our 19-member food banks with our Texans Feeding Texans program. By partnering with TFBN, member food banks are able to utilize our developed network of Texas producers and growers who often find themselves with a surplus of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains going to waste. Texans Feeding Texans enables members to deliver healthy options in fresh produce to people in Texas that need it most. In partnership with the Texas Health and Human Services Commission, or HHSC, the network demonstrates effective use of government resources to cultivate solutions to feed hungry Texans. Through the years, we've been able to expand the original contract from 8 HHSC food banks to 19. As a viable resource to HHSC, the network is a trusted voice for client concerns and helps identify barriers that clients experience when applying for benefits such as food stamps through the SNAP program, the Children's Health Insurance Program called CHIP, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, also called TANF, and Medicaid. Our food banks reach every county in Texas, allowing us to effectively deploy coordinated statewide strategies with the potential of reaching millions of hungry Texans. Our member food banks are broadly trusted in their local communities, and so can act as venues for a variety of groups to find commonality in the fight against hunger. The specializations that our staff bring to our 19 food banks in advocacy, finance, food sourcing, and public benefits free up the use of the food bank to focus on their core competencies. For the Texans Feeding Texans program with TDA, our metrics of success include product distributed. Each pound of product can be equated to healthy meals distributed. TFBN's annual goal is to distribute 1 million pounds of product, or 750,000 meals, to our 19 members. Each year, the number of pounds distributed increases. This is done by adding new growers and vendors to our list of partners. For the Community-Based Outreach and Application Assistance Program with HHSC, our agreement is to focus on submitting complete, accurate SNAP application. Several factors are utilized to promote quality assurance as opposed to benchmarks. For example, pass-through grants from national funders, legislative successes at the state and national level, and cohesive, consistent best practices done around the state. We don't have a warehouse, and we don't store food. We are a pass-through entity. We receive funding and support and pass it through to our members. Because we pass through food and funds, we're able to support statewide initiatives efficiently and with low administrative costs. Also, we aren't regional. We're able to serve the entire state through our 19 members. We are known nationally for our innovative partnerships. Our strong relationship with TDA and HHSC are huge accomplishments in our fight to end hunger in Texas. Both TDA and HHSC view TFBN as a true partner in finding solutions to hunger. The network is also recognized regionally and nationally for our work in assisting to quickly mobilize food and resources in the event of a disaster, like Hurricanes Katrina, Rita, and Ike. Food and staffing resources can be shared in Texas or through the Feeding America network. Being a membership organization with no direct services to individuals can sometimes make it tough to get grants and donor support. As a result, many of the grants and contributions we've received require us to pass through 90 to 100% of the funds to members. This leaves little money for administrative cost or the cost of starting up a new program. However, some of the challenges we believe we've successfully addressed include bringing together 19 different regional food banks into a common mission and direction, providing targeted, coordinated aid to Texans in the wake of natural disasters such as Hurricane Ike and the wildfires of 2011. Disasters like these are too large for one food bank to handle. And we are successfully dealing with organizational growth by ensuring we have the right people, the right systems, and the right processes to accomplish our goals. Some of the challenges we're still working toward include responding to cuts in state funding and ensuring that the public understands our mission. Many think TFBN is a food bank, but we're not. We're continually working to find ways to engage the community in the broader conversation around hunger, while also maintaining a focus on long-term nutritional health. And unfortunately, a fluctuating economy has created a loss in donor funding when the need for food continues to grow. If we had additional resources, we'd like to expand our existing programs and increase training and support to member food banks across the state. Additionally, more resources could be key in establishing regional food warehouses, and this would enable TFBN to purchase large quantities of food. The incoming product could then be sorted and sent to food banks. TFBN would like to become a hub for cooperative purchasing and food mixing. We'd like to increase our voice and leverage in the anti-hunger movement and become an in-depth training center for food bank staff with the possibilities of providing professional certifications and scholarships to attend. Some of the professional certifications and training that would improve the quality and efficiency of services our members provide are food safety, forklift operations, human resources, customer service, and National Incident Management System for Disasters.